Morning everyone. So today we've got a pretty big job to do. We're going to be working in a hotel. We've got to do some rewiring with the heating system, set up some new controls. I'll explain a bit more once we get there. But first, I need a cold shower to wake me up. So I'm going to jump in the shower, get ready, and then get to business. Let's go. So here we are at Fambridge. We're at the Ferry Boat Inn. The job for today is we have 6 individual rooms, and the problem is that they are not able to control the heating independently. I'll take you to the plant room now. I'll have a quick look in there. There's only one zone valve which controls the heating to all 6 rooms. So here's the plant room. So there's our zone valve, so that's just controlling every single room. The issue that they're having is the heating just stays on all the time, so the thermostat there is just set on maximum, and whenever guests are vacating the room, they're basically just not able to turn the heating off other than having to come back out here to turn it off manually. The job that we need to do is to provide independent control from each of the rooms. They've had a few engineers out here to say it can't be done. The only way to do it is to put additional zone valves, one zone for each room, all running all new pipework everywhere, which, well, it's not really viable to run all brand new pipework everywhere. So what we've come up with is we've spoken to Honeywell. They do the Honeywell Evo Home system, so that allows a smart TRV. So I'll take you around. So they've got the smart TRV set up, which will turn off the boiler or control the heating on and off individually from each room. So just as an example, so we've got only 2 radiators in each room. So we've got a normal radiator there and then a towel radiator in the bathroom. Hello. So what we're going to be planning on doing is on each of these rooms we're going to be fitting the new Honeywell heads. I'm going to fit the receiver in the plant room, and from that receiver we're going to set up a master control hub as well for the reception, and from that master control hub they will be able to control the temperature of each room individually, and also the guests, they can turn the temperature up and down via the TRVs from each room as well. And if a guest vacates the room and has left it running, they can then turn it off from the master control hub to try and save on obviously the heating just running 24 hours a day, which it is at the moment. So that twin channel programmer there, we're going to open it up, see what the wiring is like, but in theory we should just be able to remove that and replace that with the receiver from the Honeywell Evo Home system. That will then speak to the master control hub and each of the smart TRVs and allow independent control from each room to be able to turn the heating on and off. So that's our job for today. So Josh is going to be doing the wet work. He's going to be swapping out the valves on the towel rails. So on the towel rails we'll have to change the complete valves with the tails and everything. Josh, give us a smile.
Plumbing friends.
Plumbing friends. And luckily we've got Honeywell heads already on these other TRVs. So as we're fitting new Honeywell smart valves, hopefully they should just be a straight swap over. We shouldn't have to change the complete valves, but yeah, the towel rail valves, we need to change them. So this is the system that we're going to be using, the Evo Home HR92. So those are the heads, and then we've got, where is it gone? I think it's in here. Let me just get that out. So this is the master control hub. So this will allow independent control of each of the rooms and for the reception to be able to control everything as well. And these are the valve bodies for the ones that we need to change. So I'm going to be in the plant room doing the wiring side of things. Josh is going to be doing the wet work, and teamwork makes the dream work. It should be a good day. So just open up the box of the TRV heads. So it comes with all the instructions. So you get 4 TRV heads per box. You get adapters as well, depending on what size TRV valve body you're going onto, and you get batteries for these as well. So just gonna have a quick look at the instructions. It looks pretty straightforward. It just says remove the existing TRV head, separate the base valve, and depending on what style valve you've got, you may need to use an adapter or we may not need to use an adapter. Mount it on, lock it in place, pop the batteries in, and setting the position on display. So those are for these, so that you can see, you can have this sticking out, I guess, so that it's facing up, so you can see what temperature it's showing. So I'm going to try and just see if we can swap one over, if it's as straightforward as that. Okay, so we're off to a good start on the valve heads. So I've taken that one off. On these, if you just follow the instructions, you unlock that, then that middle bit just pops out. That literally just, because it's a Honeywell valve or Honeywell valve, it literally just, there we go. That goes on there. Then your smart TRV, so you've got little lock there, so that locks it onto the top of there. So if we set that, for example, there, so it's visible, then at the bottom, lock that in, that's not coming out, and that's it. And pop the batteries in on the top. We can see if we want to put one of those little angled plates in there to allow them to be able to see the temperature, and that's it. So we're just draining out one of the tower rails. System's pretty dirty, to be fair. That's just jet black coming out of there. What do you reckon? Power flush?
Power flush, mate. Get them while they're down, mate.
Let's see. We'll speak to them about that as well, because yeah, that is bad water quality. Jeez, that's only coming out the tower rail at the moment. I'm just gonna have a little read through the instructions on this, see how we need to wire this up and set it up. The good thing is each hub, you can connect up to 12 of these smart TRV heads to it, which is perfect because we've got 6 rooms, 2 radiators in each room, which is exactly 6 valves. So we only need 1 hub. If there was more, then you need to get another hub to be able to control the other valves, but this has worked out spot on for us. So open up the box. Inside we've got a stand for the hub. Just get that out. Just get it all out. Yeah. So we've got the main hub and receiver here. And that comes out there. That out there. So I've got a few different plug adapters depending on what country you're using it in. So that's what we need for the UK. I think that's going to be, yeah, that's a European adapter. We don't need that. We've got our plug adapters there. And let's just have a quick look at the MIs and see what we need to do to get this set up.
Yes, that hose really works, but
Yeah.
literally the hose is the level of hose, you don't close the paper, it's all.
Yeah.
So I don't know where to get another hose.
Right, so Josh is going to start doing the tower rails here. Josh, I'll see you in a bit.
In a bizzle.
In a bizzle. Right, I am going to make my way to the plant room and do what I do best, which is the wiring, which in all fairness doesn't seem too difficult. I've had a look at the inside of this receiver box, and it's just like a combi boiler, like a wireless thermostat. Just got live and neutral, got to put in between the live and the common, and then there's the plant room. Beautiful, beautiful. And we've actually got quite a nice view here as well, with the ferry boat in. Nice area to work in. Luckily it's not raining today. It's a bit chilly, but we made the most of it. Yeah, this has just got live and neutral. Put a link between your live and your common, and then your switch live should go to the brown and the zone valve. So let's take that one off, see what's going on in there, and we'll have a look at how we need to wire it into the zone valve. Right, let's just take this off first. Oh, these pipes are still hot. Right, 3 and 4. Hot water on, heating on. Okay, so it looks like it's wired as a traditional S plan. So we've got live earth and neutral, and we've got hot water on, heating on. So I just need to double check, is that actually controlling one of the cylinder stats, because this one is saying hot water, this one said just heating on it. So I'm not sure if that hot water on is actually controlling a cylinder stat or not. So I'll whip this one open as well just to double check. It's possible that maybe, because we've got 3 cylinders here, so it may be that that one is controlling 2 of the cylinders and that one is controlling 1 of the cylinders. We may have to keep this programmer where it is with the hot water control on it, and then just rewire a new bit just for this receiver to control the heating side. Let's have a quick look. Making some good progress on the wiring side of things. So we had 2 twin channel programmers here. One just said hot water, one just said heating. However, I figured out that twin channel programmer is controlling these 2 cylinders. That twin channel programmer is still wired as an S plan, because if you have a look at it, you've still got hot water on and heating on there. Oh, focus, there we go. So this programmer was doing the heating and this cylinder. I've traced the cable from there into the wiring center, and I've marked them all with little dots to know which cables I'm working on. Come on, focus, focus. There we go. So we've got, that's one that I need. There's another one back there that I need. So I found when that comes into here, we've got one of the cables which is controlling this room stat, which will be our black. So follow that down into here. Where's the one that I marked with the black? It's one of these. There we go. So that black cable is from terminal 4 there. That's connected to the common on our room stat. Coming off of the common, our switch live for the room stat is the black cable here, which is then linked to this grey cable. That grey cable runs down here through this trunking. It's this cable here that runs up there, across there, into this wiring center. And then I've traced that one to, where are we? Here. So there's the grey there, that's connected to the brown, and that brown is on our zone valve there, and that then will motor over and fire the boiler up for heating. So slight change of plan. What I'm going to actually do is see if I've got another time switch in the van, so we can remove that twin channel programmer, because otherwise it's going to be pointless. We could leave it and just have them using it just on the hot water side, but if I've got another time switch in the van, change that to just a time switch, and on the heating side we can get rid of the heating side of the wiring coming off of that programmer and wire it straight into this receiver box, because then that thermostat's going to go as well, because that's redundant. That's basically going to be our wireless receiver, which will replace that. That will then talk to that, which will then talk to the boiler, and we'll get heating. Bingo! So a bit of a progress update. So we're going to keep the twin channel programmer here because I haven't got a spare one in the van, and also just to make it easier for them, don't want to put a different control on and then show them how to use it. They want to keep everything as simple as possible. So all I'm going to be doing from here is disconnecting the the heating cable, disconnect that, cut that. So that's black, which was coming into here. Which one is it? It's one of these. I've disconnected it anyway, I think already. I believe it was... It's one of these. I think I've taken it out already. And I've run a new bit of 5-core in here. So removed the old room stat. That was the cable going to the old room stat. So I've removed that, disconnected each wire one by one. And now my new cable, I'm going to run the receiver up to here. So it sits next to there, whereas the old room stat was there. That room stat was pointless anyway, because it's outside in like a plant room. So it wouldn't be reading the temperature in the rooms anyway. So it would have been giving a false reading. That's our new receiver, which is basically just like your standard wireless thermostat receiver box. So just need to run from here. We've got a neutral, got our permanent live, got our switch live. So I've got 2 permanent lives. So I'm going to run it into here. The common is going to be in A, which is going to be this grey wire here, and then the permanent live is going to go into the live, and obviously the neutral, and B is going to be our black one here. That's going to be our switch live to power the motorized valve, which will then fire up the boiler. There we have it. The wiring is all done. So from here I took a permanent live feed, and I had the brown and the grey coming out of the permanent lives going into here. So we've got permanent live there. Rather than putting a link through here, there was an extra slot in the Wago, so just ran the grey from that. So we've now got live, our common, neutral, and then B, our black one, is our switch live. That from there goes into there, and that's connecting to the brown on the zone valve. So once we get a heating demand from here, that will send 240 from the B. B will go to the brown on the zone valve. This will motor over 240 down the orange via the boiler for heating. Happy days. Thought I'd use this opportunity to show you guys my wiring stuff set up. So I've got the DeWalt T-Stack trays. So my top tray, I've got 2, 3, 5-way Wagos, some cable ties, some little sticky back pads, inline connectors, spare batteries, fuses, 3 amps, 5 amps, 13 amps, quick blow fuses. Bottom one is all my ferrules, so I've got my ferrule adapter, or the ferrule tools, a bit of earth sleeving in there, and then all different size ferrules, some cable clips. These are quite handy, they double ferrules. But yeah, that's my wiring box. Right, let's see how Josh is getting on. This is the one that we started on first. So that one's on. Obviously the head's all done on the radiators. There's another one. Numero 3. Number 4. Knock knock. Are you decent? Housekeeping. There he is. The man's hard at work. Just getting that last one off. So he's had it's been a little bit more trickier than initially. So what have we had to do?
Undo all these, whip it off, slot the new right back on.
Yeah, there's not much playing the pipe work, so you have to pretty much try and take the towel rails off a little bit and then put them back on. You don't want to kink pipe work in there. So we've got 2 more left to do. I'm gonna get this one done, stop for lunch, then get the last one done, and then yeah, then we'll do the setting up the hub and everything. Yeah, it's going good so far. So we finished installing all the valves. We are now going to be powering this on. Well, I've powered on the Honeywell Home hub. Now just got to follow the instructions. Seems fairly straightforward. I'm not going to go through it on this video, but if you're fitting one, just read the instructions and it's fairly straightforward. So we're going to bind all of the TRVs to the hub, split them up into individual zones, and then fit them onto the radiators and give it all a test run. Right, so I'll just show you how I do one of these. We've done 5 out of 6 of the rooms, so pop the top off, open up the battery clip here. It's a bit difficult to do it with just one hand. Right, that's open there. Right, pop that on. Pop the cover on. Okay, so that gives you a display, and it asks on there, press bind. So press that once, it says unbound, hold it in for 5 seconds. It says bind, press it again, binding, success. And just press the green tick on there. You're going to add more radiators, yep, because we're going to be adding 2 on each, and then just literally repeat the same with the second zone valve, TRV valve. Okay, so we've just finished setting up the hub and all of the smart TRVs. Just going to give you a run through. We've tested it and it works. So right now we've got, so these are the names of all the rooms. So they've named them after birds of prey. So we're in Peregrine at the moment. So the current temperature in the room is 15.5 degrees and the TRVs are set to 20 degrees. So just to show you, 20 degrees on there. 20 degrees on there, and that's warm, so the boiler's fired up. I'm just going to take you around. We've actually got 2 rooms on at the moment just to test it. Okay, so we've got a green light on there, that's for the receiver. Orange light is on the zone valve, and the boiler's firing at the moment, so that's good, that's what we want. Okay, the next one that we've got on is Barn L. So what we've done is each room is a zone, and it's controlled, the temperature is going to be the same in each zone. So Barn L is that one there, no, that one here. So these 2 will be reading 20 degrees as well. 20 degrees. And the others will be reading 5 degrees, because they should all be off. Let's flip that up. There we go. 5. 5 degrees. 5 degrees. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, as a master control, I'm going to turn the heating off completely from here. So if I just go to quick actions, heating off, all rooms set to off, tap that, so now that's turned the heating off overall. Now there is a bit of a delay from when it sends a signal to this, but you'll be able to hear it turn off in a moment. Just give it a minute. There we go. Don't know if you can hear that. That's motoring the TRV pin down. There we go. So that's motored down. This one is also showing 5 degrees. And that's now showing 5 degrees. That's now showing 5 degrees. That's gone off. Zone valve's gone off. Happy days. Okay. So we'll turn the heating back to where it was. So this one will come up to 20 degrees. So we should hear this one motor back on in a moment. There we go. That's gone to 20 degrees. You can hear it motoring back on. It should be the same with that one. Receiver's on, zone valve's on, boilers come on. The system works. The system works. It works.
High five.
High five, I like. I tell you what, it's such a good feeling when these people have had 5 other engineers or 5 other companies come around to say that it can't be done. You're going to need to zone off every room individually. You're going to have to run all new pipework. It's going to be a massive job, or it's impossible to do without causing major disruption. We're here to find solutions. We're here to find solutions for problems. We can do it. We can do anything if you put your mind to it. We've just solved an issue that other people said that it couldn't be done. We now have individual and independent control from every single room for the heating. It goes off when it needs to, it goes on when it needs to. The guests are going to be able to control the heating how they want, and also the main office are going to have master control over everything. So when a guest vacates the room, if they leave the heating on, they can turn it off from the hub controller. Give me a high five, brother.
Smashed it.
That's how we do. That's how we do.